when the perfect piece is right there, but the price tag just says, make us an offer we can't refuse. How much are you willing to sacrifice for a .300 hitter who's gone after 1 year? You know what's worse than not having options? Having the perfect option right in front of you, knowing exactly how well he'd fit, seeing how he'd solve multiple problems at once, and then being told, yeah, he's available, but only if you're willing to mortgage your entire future for 1 year of production. That's exactly where the New York Yankees find themselves with Nico Hoerner. And Tuesday, January 13th, 2026, just became a day that dream got a whole lot more expensive, or maybe impossible. Evan Massey's report dropped a bucket of cold reality on the Bronx this morning. Despite the Yankees' legitimate interest in the Chicago Cubs second baseman, Chicago has made it crystal clear they're not having a fire sale. They're not desperate to move pieces. And Nico Hoerner? He's not going anywhere unless someone absolutely blows him away with an offer. Let me explain why this seemed like such a perfect fit in the first place. Because the logic was sound. The Cubs just signed Alex Bregman. Their infield is crowded. Hoerner seemed like the odd man out, a talented player who suddenly didn't have a clear role. Brian Cashman saw an opportunity and immediately picked up the phone. This is exactly the kind of situation where smart general managers pounce, finding value in another team's roster crunch. But then Sadev Sharma from The Athletic threw cold water all over that idea. There are no indications the Cubs are looking to move Hoerner. The Cubs will listen, and if they're blown away, they might decide it's the right thing to do. Blown away. Let those words sink in for a moment. Because in baseball negotiation speak, blown away doesn't mean give us a fair offer. It doesn't mean send us some decent prospects and we'll work something out. It means unless you're willing to give us way more than this player is actually worth, we're perfectly happy keeping him. And that creates an impossible situation for Brian Cashman. Because here's the thing, Nico Hoerner is a rental. He's an unrestricted free agent after the 2026 season. Normally, when you're trading for a 1-year rental, the price is moderate. You're not giving up your top prospects for 1 season production. You're making a calculated bet that this player puts you over the top and helps you win a championship, and you're willing to pay a reasonable price for that chance. But the Cubs aren't operating under normal rules here. They're happy with their roster. They think they can compete for the division with Bregman and Hoerner both in the lineup. They don't need to trade him. So if the Yankees want him, they're going to have to pay a premium that makes absolutely no sense for a rental player. What does blown away mean in practical terms? It means the Cubs want elite prospects. They want names like Jason Dominguez, who you make clear in your memories is someone you're especially wary of trading. They want Spencer Jones, the power-hitting outfield prospect that every team in baseball covets. They want the kind of pitching prospects that you were planning to use in a trade for Freddie Peralta, who, according to your memories, you prioritize acquiring and are willing to give up Luis Gil or Will Warren for. Do you see the problem here? You can't trade for both Nico Hoerner and Freddie Peralta. You don't have enough elite assets to make both deals happen. And if you're being forced to choose between a rental second baseman and a frontline starting pitcher who could anchor your rotation for years, the choice should be obvious. Paying a premium price, the kind that would blow away the Cubs, for 1 year of Nico Hoerner is terrible asset management. Especially when you still need a number 2 starter. Especially when you still need an outfielder like Kyle Tucker or Cody Bellinger. Especially when your rotation is held together with duct tape and prayers because Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon are both injured. Nico Hoerner will be perfect for the Yankees. I'm not disputing that. He hit .297 last season. He plays Gold Glove caliber defense at second base. He's 28 years old and in his prime. He'd be an immediate upgrade over whatever internal options the Yankees are currently considering. In a vacuum, he's exactly what this team needs. But baseball isn't played in a vacuum. You have to consider opportunity cost. You have to think about what you're giving up to get him. And if the price is Jason Dominguez or Spencer Jones or the pitching prospects you need to land Freddie Peralta, then the price is too high. Period. And here's what makes this even more frustrating. The Cubs know exactly what position the Yankees are in. They know you're desperate for infield help with Anthony Volpe out until May. They know you're trying to upgrade the roster to compete with the Orioles and Red Sox. They know you have assets and money to spend. So they're sitting back, arms crossed, saying, sure, we'll trade him if you're willing to massively overpay. That's not a negotiation. That's extortion. So where does that leave the Yankees? Back at the drawing board, scrambling for alternatives that aren't as good but might be more attainable. Bo Bichette is still out there, but according to report, the Phillies and Red Sox are the frontrunners. If the Yankees want him, they're going to have to outbid division rivals and National League contenders. That's not ideal, especially when you consider that Bichette comes with his own questions about defense and durability. Kyle Tucker remains a nuclear option, the move that solved the offense through brute force. But as your memories show, you're interested in acquiring Tucker for Blue Jays, not the Yankees. And even if the Yankees pivot to Tucker, they're looking at a contract in the $300 million range. That's a massive financial commitment that would limit their flexibility for other moves. And through all of this, the fundamental problem remains unsolved. The rotation is a disaster. Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon are both injured. You desperately need Freddie Peralta, who you prioritize in your memories and are willing to trade Luis Gil or will warn for. But if you blow your prospect capital on Nico Hoerner, how do you get Peralta? How do you fix the rotation? You can't. That's the answer. You can't do both. And if you're being forced to choose, the choice should be obvious. Pitching wins championships. Always has, always will. A .300 hitting second baseman is nice to have. A frontline starter who can dominate in October is essential. The Cubs are holding all the cards with Nico Hoerner. They don't need to trade him. They're perfectly happy keeping him for 2026 and letting him walk in free agency, if that's how it plays out. The only way he moves is if someone, maybe the Dodgers, who always seem to have unlimited resources, decides to pay an absurd price that makes no logical sense. And you know what? Let them. Let the Dodgers or some other team overpay for a rental second baseman. Let them give up elite prospects for 1 year of production. The Yankees need to be smarter than that. They need to prioritize the rotation. They need to land Freddie Peralta, even if it means trading Luis Gil or Will Warren like you're willing to do according to your memories. Nico Hoerner will be perfect, but perfect isn't always attainable. And when the price is too high, sometimes the smartest move is to walk away and find a different solution. What do you think? Should the Yankees try to blow away the Cubs with an offer for Hoerner, even if it means sacrificing the assets needed to get Freddie Peralta? Or should they stay disciplined, focus on fixing the rotation first, and find a more affordable solution for the infield? Drop your thoughts and comments below, and smash that like button if you agree that paying a premium for a rental player is bad business. Because right now, it feels like the Cubs are daring Brian Cashman to make a mistake. And the question is whether he's smart enough to walk away.